Welcome back to the second half of this Southern Zone rugby clash between two of the big guns, top of the table clash between Nasinu Secondary School and Marist Brothers High School under 18 rugby. 8 points to 3 in favor of Marist as we see the second half about to rumble forward. Master Rakula, your thoughts on the first half?
Yes, for Mars brothers, they need to keep the play tight. They need to use those big forwards when they are into the territory of Nasinu and not inside their own territory. But for Nasinu, they will need to use that tactical kick. They need to do not engage too much on that ruck. Allow a lot of players to be free for their defense.
As we see the first penalty of the second half for Marist. A clearing kick, opportunity to relieve pressure. Nasinu on that occasion, killing the ball in the ruck. And now Maris with an opportunity to get the ball inside the Nasinu half. Build some momentum going forward. Set their phases. Put Nasinu under a bit of pressure. But Master Rakul, I must talk about the defense of Nasinu in the first half. I think it was outstanding.
Yes, it was really outstanding. Given their size, but in this under 18 class, size does not matter. It is all about the heart, and they are defending really well. And for Maris, they need to be utilizing their bigger forwards in the second half.
That's right. If there's one thing that Maris needs to do in the second half is that use their big forwards to their advantage, as they see them taking it up strongly now, getting the ball on the move, getting the ball forward behind the game line, getting the advantage. But Nasinu's defense has been well structured, well organized, and very in your face. The rush defense of Nasinu working well, driving Maris forward or even sideways. And now Maris back with the ball, but Nasinu there once again, a high kick, crossfield kick. Nasinu answering the question. Unfortunately, he lost possession on that occasion, putting Nasinu under a bit of pressure. Maris with the ball once again, looking for an opportunity down the far side. Nasinu defense comes back in once again and frustrates Maris once to great effect on that occasion. And now Marist with the scrum and the advantage, but Master Rakula, a missed opportunity by Marist on that occasion.
Yes, missed opportunity by Marist, and I think for the Marist players, they need to be running through the gap and not running towards the men. That makes it easy picking for the Nasinu defense to try and chop them. So once again, they need to play the space and not play the men.
That's right. As we see a substitute coming on for Marist. Getting fresh legs on the field early in the second half. Marist with the scrum feed and the advantage inside the half of Nasinu. The Marist scrum has been on par this afternoon. They've given Marist a good advantage, Master Rakula.
Yes, the scrum is setting the platform for that backline attack. But again, the passes need to stick.
That was nicely taken on that occasion by Marist, right at his bootlaces. But unfortunately, that second pass from the first to second five didn't go according to hand and lost. I think he passed it forward, Master Rakula?
Yes, that was a forward pass. As we see the Nasinu defense, they are really reading the Maris attack very well.
That's right. I agree with you. The Nasinu defense is very well organized today.
Yes, this game is quite tight because both coaching staff they know each other's strength well, and they have been coaching for more than 5 years in the two schools, Skeli Kaluniviti and also Master Den Vakamode from Maris Brothers.
That's right. Both coaching teams bringing a lot of experience into this top-of-the-table clash as the rush defense of Nasinu works to great effect on that occasion. Again, pushing Maris back, halting them in their tracks. Maris opting for the tactical kick crossfield, but Nasinu's winger is there, gets the ball, swings it to the to the fullback, and of course back to the winger with a bit of space. Maris defense in 6s and 7s. They're not structured at the moment. Nasinu with a bit of momentum. And of course, the Nasinu forwards starting to take the ball up strongly, building on the confidence that the platform of this great attacking raid has set. But a solid shot by Marist on that occasion. Good hard hit, stopping Nasinu in their tracks. Nasinu needs to get the ball back. They're under a bit of pressure. Good high kick, up and under. Unfortunately, just slightly miscued Master Rakula in the ball out on the full.
Yes, a good solid tackle from the Maris player, and those kinds of tackle will can turn the game around, Merv, as we can see that it was a misjudged kick now from the halfback for the Nasinu team, resulting in this line out inside the Nasinu territory.
That's right. It's tackles like that and defense like that that can be game changers for secondary schools rugby teams. As we see Marist back on the attack, setting the platform with a well-taken line out, looking at building the possession, trying to get this maul moving forward. The Nasinu defense looks to be a bit more set, bit more lower in the tackle, disrupting this Marist maul, but the ball still going forward. Ref keeping a close eye on it, making sure that all the rules are being followed. Marist back with the ball, rumbling it up again through their forwards. This is what they need in order to get the ball moving forward. They need to use their big boys, suck in a few Nasinu defenders, try and take the ball up strongly. Nicely taken once again by Marist. The Nasinu defense holding again. As we get a close-up look of that maul, there's a lot of action in there. Nasinu defense once again, eyes open, heads up, keeping an eye on Marist. Now they run it through the back line. The first five decides to take it up himself, says, I'm going to give it a shot. Takes the tackle, get the ball back, but unfortunately Marist on that occasion, the ball not going to hand. Possession in terms of keeping the ball and momentum, Master Rakula, an issue in this game.
Yes, Kikau needs to give that ball. He needs to pass that ball first up. He had the supporting Marist players on the outside. And while he stuck in about 3 defenses for Nasinu there, defenders for Nasinu, unfortunately that last pass went and knock on from Marist.
Something for both coaching staff members to take note of as this competition gets more intense. They need to work on the passing of the players. Pass needs to hit you at the right spot at the right time. Ref says no, too much interference from Marist. Free kick to Nasinu Secondary School. They take the tap, run the ball up, look for the offload. The pass not going to hand, putting Nasinu under a bit of pressure. Marist rushing into the defense, looking at trying to spoil that possession, trying to get the ball back, but Nasinu secure. Once again, as they try and clear the lines, give their forwards a bit of a chance to get the ball. Gets the ball behind the game line, and the winger, this awesome winger for Nasinu, once again breaking tackles. Hasn't had a lot of work to do, been a bit unemployed on the far side of that half. But he's got a lot of energy and a lot of excitement as Marist now with the ball inside their half. Nasinu with, we'll see if it was a poorly taken kick. And of course now Marist tactically kicking once again, dropping the ball nicely inside the 22 of Nasinu Secondary School. Nasinu's good solid run by that Nasinu player, still with the ball, and he gets the offload and they break free into the Marist backfield. No defenders there, only one runner coming across. Nasinu Secondary School, I think, have scored a try. The ref and the linesman having a bit of a discussion, having a bit of a team talk. There was only one Marist defender and it wasn't enough. Nasinu scored the go-ahead try in the second half. Master Rakula.
Yes, it was that kick from Marist Brothers High School. They failed to follow it up during that kick, and this resulted in this wonderful Nasinu try. They did not panic in that passage of play. They followed each other up. They seized up the opportunity. They lined up the defenders. They stuck in the last line of defense, and they gave in the pass.
As we see, there it is. Oh, take us through it, Master Rakula.
Yes, that's what all good flankers should do. They always try and keep closer to where the action is, resulting in that try. A good flankers try from Nasinu move.
That's right, following in the footsteps of the great flankers of World Rugby, being at the right place at the right time. Nasinu go coast to coast in this second half as Marist have a bit of a team talk. They need to have a discussion. They need to reset themselves. They're under a bit of pressure. This Nasinu defense has worked wonders all game long. And now the sideline conversion to break the deadlock. It's 8-all. Can Nasinu make it happen right from the far side? A lot of pressure on this young kicker's shoulders as we see the kick. What do you reckon, Master Rakula?
No, it's outside the left-hand upright. So the score is still locked at 8-all.
8-all. This is what the best of secondary schools rugby is all about. Pressure rugby. Both teams going at it hammer and tongs, trying to get that advantage as it's 8-all and locked up. Both teams with everything to play for in the second half. Master Rakula, more than just pride on the line.
Yes, both these teams went through the national quarterfinals last year, and Nasinu losing to QVS, and Maris going on to play in the final of last year's Deans.
That's right. A lot of pressure. The ball bounced. That's not good for Maris, putting themselves under a lot of pressure. Nasinu chase was good. Lots of players got there. And of course, they're pushing. Unfortunately, on that occasion, Master Rakula, Nasinu just a little bit overzealous.
Yes, but for Maris Brothers High School, those high kicks, they are allowing it to bounce. And when you allow that ball to bounce, you're putting a lot of pressure on your players, and also allowing the defenders to come up and create all sorts of problems for your team.
Cardinal Senior and Secondary Schools Rugby. Got to catch it on the fly. Unfortunately, on that occasion, Nasinu just a little bit overexcited. And now Maris back with the ball and a chance to plan an attacking raid inside the half of Nasinu. The second half turning out to be a cracker. Both teams with everything to play for in the second half. We see the number. Unfortunately, bad communication between the hooker and the line out. And now Nasinu back with possession. And of course the momentum, unfortunately, has lost it forward. Now Maris back with the ball. Ref calling the advantage for the knock-on. Maris forwards piling in there, trying to get clean possession back. They're using their big boys to great effect. They're trying to get the ball forward. They're trying to rumble it up. Nasinu contesting the possession, and I think Nasinu has won it. Oh no, Maris back with the ball. Lack of concentration on that occasion, Master Rakula. Unfortunate for Maris Brothers High School.
Yes, referee will go back to that advantage play from that knock-on to from Nasinu Secondary School. But as you can see, the Maris players, they are beginning to tire a little bit, but at the same time, they are running at the Nasinu players. They need to take the gaps. They need to run at the gaps. And for Nasinu, they are using that one-off runners. They are standing off wider, and the players coming in, they are standing off, and then they are running at the gaps between the Maris players. As you see the sub being made as Benji comes out, as we see Lilo taking his place in the field of play.
Maris halfback, big boy running on for Maris. Fresh legs on the field. Whenever you bring in a new halfback, it changes the tactical attack of the team, as he's being used as a runner as well. But unfortunately, the pass once again being lost by Maris. This has been an unfortunate aspect of the game for both teams. Protecting possession. Nasinu back with the ball. And again, like we said, possession is important. Protecting possession is even more important. And on that occasion, Master Rakula, both teams guilty.
Yes, both teams guilty of spilling the ball forward. As we see this scrum to Nasinu, and some players in the Nasinu team, they are also part of the Fiji Secondary School Rugby League team. That's why they have played together in the Fiji Secondary School Rugby League team, and they know each other well. As the coaching staff know each other, the players too know each other because they have played together in the Fiji team.
That's right, interchanging the rugby skills between league and union, giving these players a full opportunity to showcase their talents as Nasinu run it through the backs once again. These backline players for Nasinu have had a good game so far. But Maris pushing backwards, pushing them towards the touchline. Nasinu bring it back in nicely. Nasinu back in attack, but of course once again dropped ball. Ref says play on. Good offloading by Nasinu, getting into the backfield of Maris. They're on attack. The Maris defense needs to reset quickly. Nasinu back with possession. Throws the cutout pass, but good front-up defense by the Maris winger, stopping Nasinu in his tracks. He saw the danger, Master Rakula, and he rushed up and he took the gamble, and it paid off.
Yes, and a good use of the touchline there from the Maris defenders. They are aware of where the touchline is. They used it as the 16th player on the field.
That's right, maybe even the 17th.
Yeah, plus the 20th player touched in goal.
Maris has realized the danger that Nasinu winger poses in terms of attack, so they need to shut him down early, and they need to be very careful that he doesn't get space. He's got some fancy footwork, as we saw in the first half, and he needs to be shut down very early. Maris back with the ball, fresh halfback on the field. They have possession, they're taking it to the center. Just taking the ball up slowly, building possession, building momentum. Pass needs to be a bit quicker from the halfback. Goes for the high kick. Not a lot of height, but good distance. And of course, Marist cashing in on possession once again. Nasinu have lost the ball forward, allowing it to bounce once again. That's why they have a new halfback, so he can take the ball up, crash it through those forwards, suck in more defenders, and now Marist back on attack. Nasinu defense needs to reset. They can't allow Marist to build momentum. Unfortunately, on that occasion, Marist not protecting possession, Master Rakula.
Yes, they don't need to rush things at this stage of the game. They need to use their bigger forwards. But for Nasinu, as you may be seeing, Merv, they're trying to play that loose game. They're trying to throw the ball around. They're trying to move these big Maris forwards around so that they create space on the outside and capitalize from there.
That's right. It's working to good effect for Nasinu in the second half. Trying to get these big Maris forwards tired quickly, but Maris awake to that threat that Nasinu is posing, getting lots of fresh legs on the field at regular intervals, keeping players fresh, keeping players changing. More reserves coming in for Maris now. Not allowing Nasinu to take advantage of the fact that they have the slightly more agile forward pack. Maris will look to put Nasinu under a lot of pressure for this scrum, get the ball back. Weather conditions deteriorating a little bit here, but at least the rain has stopped. Maris with the big push, Nasinu under a bit of pressure. Can they maintain possession? Maris piling in, but Nasinu have the ball once again. They've protected the ball. Clears from the base. Doesn't get a lot of distance, but he manages to clear the kick. Master Rakula, Nasinu under a bit of pressure from the Maris forwards.
Yes, the Marist forwards are beginning to use their strength in this passage of play. As we see Tosewe Walu, the assistant coach for Marist, pointing out instructions from the sideline, trying to set his players right in this section of the ground move.
That's right, as we see the linesman and the referee having a bit of a chat. Apparently might have been an infringement, or the linesman picked up something.
He's picked up a line out move.
He's picked up a line out. There we go. So we're good to go with the line out. Maris with another opportunity to attack deep inside the half of Nasinu. Nasinu has answered the question in the second half in terms of the attack. Their defense has been good. Ref says no, unfortunately. It's these little things that frustrate coaches, Master Rakula, the technical aspects of the great game.
Yes, the line out and the scrum, those are two technical areas. They need to work on that. They need to work overtime on that because it is something that can haunt you in the game when you're not up to par with it, Merv.
That's right. Going for another line out. Nasinu this time with the line out advantage. Need to get the ball in straight. Maris win it back again. Nasinu on that occasion not allowing Maris to get the possession back in their half, putting themselves under a bit of pressure. But the Nasinu defense comes in once again. Maris still with the ball. They need to get the ball quickly through the backs. The passes need to stick. Nasinu defense moving quite nicely, disrupting the ball, and they have possession back again. Against the run of play, Nasinu has the ball and the wingers are chasing. Maris is going to be under a bit of pressure, allowing the ball to bounce, but of course that Nasinu winger once again comes back in it and stops him in his tracks, and now the forwards pile in. Unfortunately, Master Rakula, for Nasinu, that was really unfortunate. I think it was hands in the ruck.
Yes, he came in from an offside position. He ran from the side, and allowing Maris again to launch another attack from inside the Nasinu territory.
That's right, discipline very important. It's putting Nasinu under a bit of pressure. This will be the third set phase in a row that Maris has the ball. They have possession, but the Nasinu defense sliding across the field nicely, stopping Maris in their tracks, and they have the ball, Nasinu. They got possession back. They're maintaining momentum. They're inside the 22 of Maris on the attack. Ref says play on. Nasinu with the ball. Gaps opening up in the midfield. Nasinu putting Maris under tremendous pressure, about 10 meters out from the Maris try line. Unfortunately, Master Rakula, a knock on just when it was getting to that delicious bit about to score the try, sir.
Yes, they needed that try-saving tackle, and it lodged the ball free, resulting in this scrum to Nasinu. As you can see that Nasinu, they are just eating off the Maris mistakes. As soon as the ball is turned over, they try to run it around the blind side, allowing the Maris players a lot of area to run around, and this resulting in those gaps appearing inside the Maris territory.
That's right. Marist putting themselves under a lot of pressure, pushing the passes, losing possession, not being able to build momentum, not being able to build the phases. Nasinu and of course now Marist with an injury, getting checked by the medics. Looks to be a bit of a rib problem. All right, as we get some fresh legs on the field for Marist, a replacement comes on. Unfortunate loss for Marist. Looks to be a sternum injury. We'll have to wait and see what the medics say as we reset for the scrum. Marist with the ball, but in the wrong side of the park. Marist scrum has been good. Nasinu's defense has been even better. And then, of course, Nasinu once again putting Marist under tremendous pressure, not allowing the Marist halfback to make a decision, get the ball out. Puts Marist under a bit of pressure inside the half, just outside their own 22. It's a pick and go from Marist brothers. Trying to get this Nasinu defense in an offside trap, but unfortunately not working. The Nasinu defense coming to the fore. High kick by Marist, and of course Nasinu running back. Lots of support runners there. The Marist defenders coming up in a straight line. Nasinu looking for options left and right. Decides to go down the open side. Unfortunately, possession lost once again. And now Marist back with the ball inside the half of Nasinu. Not what Nasinu wanted. Nasinu's protection of possession needs to be a bit better. Now Marist using their big forwards once again. This is where they get the advantage. Ref says Nasinu to get back. The rush defense of Nasinu once again coming up quickly, trying to stop Marist in its tracks. Master Rakula, Marist are putting themselves under a lot of pressure in terms of their passing.
Yes, they are only putting themselves under pressure. They need to steady things. They need to stay calm. They need to play it close. Playing out wide, that is what Nasinu wants, because Nasinu, that is their style of play. And for Maris, they need to utilize their bigger forwards, try and keep it tight and move forward.
I think in that earlier phase of play, Master Rakula, the reason why the linesman is on the field now is I think he picked up a high tackle from Nasinu, but we'll have to wait and see. It was very brief. It happened very quickly, and I think even the ref was unable to see it, but the linesman picked it up, and I think the ref is strolling over to have a chat with Nasinu. It looks like a high tackle, Master Rakula.
Yes, that's a high shot, and we will see a penalty to Maris at this stage of the game.
The game still 8-all, top of the table clash. Two of the big guns in Southern Coke Zero Dean Secondary Schools rugby. These type of little mistakes can cause teams to lose the game, Master Rakula. It's important discipline be maintained.
Yes, discipline is what is needed here, and as we see Maris opting to take the kick, as we see David come in to take the shot.
That's right, the wind has picked up. This will be a factor in this kick. Pressure kick for this young Marist kicker. Score still 8-all. Optimistic penalty from Marist. I would reckon the ball is about 30 meters out from the Nasinu goalpost, Master Rakula.
Yes, that's just outside the 22, and this David, he is also a soccer rep for the Maris Brothers High School soccer team, and thanks to Mr. Chetty, who has allowed him to play today for
That's right.
the rugby.
All-round sportsman, this young boy. A lot of pressure on his young shoulders. Get Maris back into the lead. Lines it up, takes it nice and high. Master Rakula, what you reckon?
Now it's outside the right-hand side of the post.
Score still 8-all in this top of the table clash. Two of the big guns, both fighting for first place and a chance to take advantage of the quarterfinal draws when the competition deepens, as we see Nasinu getting fresh legs onto the field.
As we see the last passages of play, Merv, it is the high kicks that's gaining ground for these two teams.
Nice, high, long, deep kick by Nasinu Secondary School. Marist way inside their 22. Goes for the high kick. Chase not good from Marist Brothers High School. Nasinu with options both sides of the field. Players on the... Looks for the cutout pass, trying to get the winger involved in the game. Good solid tackle by Maris. Good defense, but Nasinu still have the ball. Unfortunately, Master Akula and Nasinu working themselves to the touchline too early.
Yes, but a good gain from them. If you look back at those passes of play, they were under pressure, thinking that drop out 22. Now they have come up to the halfway, but still Maris to throw in the line out.
That's right. Territory in possession, a key component of secondary schools rugby. And now Maris with the line out. They need some inspiration. They need somebody to stand up and help move this team forward. More fresh legs coming on for both teams. Maris with the substitutes as well as Nasinu. Ref checking to make sure the numbers are all there. Everybody is in the right spot. Nice line out by Maris. Have the ball. They have possession around the halfway mark. But the maul is a bit high. They're not moving forward. But they still have the ball. Nasinu's defense still strong. Putting Maris under more pressure. The box kick not working to effect. And of course, Master Akula, the Nasinu defense once again answering the question.
Yes, the Nasinu defense stood tall in that occasion. They managed to hold the maul. But for Maris Brothers High School, they need to keep that maul and their body position was a bit high coming from that line out.
Once again now, Nasinu with the advantage. I don't want to cause trouble, Master Akula, but I think that ball was not straight.
Yes, it was a mile away from the mark. And that is something the Nasinu coaches need to work on. They need to have the jumpers jumping off where the lifters of Maris are, to create that mismatch. Otherwise, you will be seeing that kind of throws all day long.
That's right. Nasinu with a lost opportunity. Now Maris back with the ball near the halfway line. Score still 8-all. Seesaw game, this one. Lot to play for. As we see the Maris scrum once again dominating and resulting in the penalty. Ref says the binding of Nasinu wasn't straight. And now Nasinu under a bit of pressure. Maris with possession once again, with a good opportunity to go deep inside the half of Nasinu, which they do. They take it around the 10-meter line of Nasinu Secondary School. Maris with the ball and an opportunity to launch another attacking raid inside the half of Nasinu. The Nasinu defense has been good in the second half. Maris' attack needs to be a bit more conservative. They need to be maintaining possession for longer phases. They have the ball. They're looking for the big push. They're using their forwards. Ref keeping an eye on the maul. They're rumbling it up about 7 meters, almost 10. Now they run it through the backs. He should have passed the ball. Nasinu read it on that occasion. The defense was ready for that set piece. Maris reset the possession. Look at driving it up again through the forwards. Big Maris forwards need to use their weight to their advantage. Setting the platform once again. Taking it up inch by inch, fighting for possession, fighting for space, fighting for territory. Nasinu defense up to the question, answering it quite easily on that occasion. Maris still rumbling forward. Patience is the key for Maris. They just need to keep the ball and they'll get the opportunities. Spinning it through the backs now. Misfired pass, and unfortunately on that occasion Nasinu back with possession and the momentum. Maris back line, unfortunately the communication not good and the pass is not going to hand. Now Nasinu with the clearing kick, and Maris have to start all the way back from inside their 22. Nasinu chase is coming through, but it's a bit disjointed. He sees the gap on the far side, opts for the chip and chase, but the defenders for Nasinu were there, and he comes up strongly, takes the ball up, sets up the maul inside the half of Maris. Maris fighting in that ruck. Ref calls a penalty, I think slapping the ball down, Master Rakula.
Yes, from an offside position move. And in the last passage of play, it is the Maris backline who let the forwards down. The forwards have done all the hard work, and unfortunately for the backline, those drop passes are resulting in this territory comeback for Nasinu.
That's right, Nasinu now looking for the gaps. Their backs getting involved. They sense an opportunity. They sniff a chance to take this game by the lead. Passes sticking to hand. The Maris defense needs to come up a bit faster. Nasinu gaining easy meters inside Maris territory. And of course the Maris defenders are there, but they need to scramble to the far side because that's where Nasinu's heading. They're taking the ball up strongly, one-off runners, trying to keep that ball in hand, trying to maintain possession, trying to be patient. Maris defense needs to be up to the cost so far. It has been. It's stopping Nasinu in its tracks, but Nasinu still maintaining possession. I think on that occasion, Master Rakula, he opted for the wrong wrong tactic.
Wrong option there taken by the halfback for Nasinu. It's quite unfortunate. That's what kills the forwards. When the forwards are on the momentum and a bad decision from the backline, it really diffuses all the hard work that they have done. Now we see Maris trying to get out of the 22 from this dropout move.
That's right, Maris with everything to play for. Not the best taken kick. It actually, how do you say this? It went back. I think he gained -5 meters.
And they are given the option whether they should allow Maris to take the dropout 22 or they gain the scrum. So Nasinu opting for the scrum now. But once again, we will have to see how the scrum will try and absorb this pressure from these Maris forwards.
That's right, Maris with the dominant scrum. Nasinu need to get the ball in quick and out again, not enabling Maris to push. The ball needs to be clean. They need to get it into the backfield. They need to put more pressure on Maris. They set the scrum, Nasinu. Ball needs to come out very quickly, but Maris applying the pressure, twisting the scrum. Nasinu still maintain the ball, but it's scrappy. Ref says play on. Nasinu still have possession. Maris, of course, trying to get in there, trying to get the ball back, but Nasinu have the ball. They're maintaining it, using their more agile forwards to great effect. Ball squirts out the back. Nasinu still with the ball. Maris running on quite quickly. Nasinu trying to create that extra man using their faster, lighter forwards. They have possession, but they're on the back foot, and Maris is awake to their attacking style now. But Nasinu still with the ball. Opts for the high kick, and I think he's gained 1 meter.
That's another bad option by the Nasinu halfback. Again, he has butchered that taking opportunity by the Nasinu team. I think that's something that the coach will need to look at in the coming games. When you have a halfback, when you're trying to kick, you need to kick and try and gain possession back, and also kick to gain territory. But in both occasions, he had just given the ball back to Maris move.
As we see Maris with the penalty now. Nice long kick, getting the ball back deep inside the half of Nasinu. Now Maris with another opportunity to get some points on the board. They're deep inside the half of Nasinu. The Nasinu defense has been working overtime today, maintaining that pressure, keeping Maris from getting any rhythm in their back line. As Maris reset for the line out. Nasinu get in there, make it difficult for Maris to win the possession. I think Nasinu has the ball. Their tactics working well, making it scrappy, making it difficult for Maris to get clean possession. And a good high clearing kick. But the ball still in play around the midfield. Looking for runners on both sides. Takes the ball up, gets smashed by the Nasinu defense. But Maris still with possession. Maris runners, the forwards need to come back and help support this this maul, but Nasinu have the ball and the attack and the momentum. Unfortunately, on that occasion, Nasinu losing the ball, but the ref saying Marist offside, and now Nasinu with a penalty and an opportunity to go into Marist half.
Yes, we are inside the last 2 minutes of play, Merv, and let's see what Nasinu opt to do from this passage of play.
Very seesaw game. Nasinu's scrappy style of play preventing Marist from gaining any rhythm, any opportunity, and now Nasinu awake to the fact that there's only 2 minutes left, opting for the kick. Master Rakula, your best guess on the distance?
Yes, that's just about 62-meter kick, Merv. As you can see, that's the 10-meter line in their own territory right in front of him, and he's opting to take this kick. And let's see whether the kick goes through or not. The spectators will tell us, Merv.
It's going to be a monster if he does get it through. And I think we'll have a new record for secondary schools rugby for the distance taken for a kick. As Master Rakula said, it's about 62 meters on the fly. That line in front of you that you're seeing on screen is the halfway line. That's the 10-meter, and then the halfway. That's the 10-meter line there. It's a monster kick. Does it have the distance? It had the accuracy. Unfortunately, it didn't have the legs.
Yes, it didn't have the power to carry through, as we see Amini calling the game to an end.
That's right. Both teams sharing accolades here in this under 18 top of the table clash between Marist and Nasinu. Both teams coming in with a lot to play for, and secondary schools rugby in the southern zone is alive and kicking. 8-all the final score right here on My TV.